I kept it a mystery what I was going to talk about tonight. But my speech is about one of the unmentionable subjects, toilet paper. Or sometimes it's called toilet tissue. Has a lot of names all around the world. Some are real interesting, like one is called bog roll, and one is called bumwad. So it has a lot of interesting names. So if you're around the world and somebody says bumwad, you'll know what they're talking about. My speech tonight, I'm going to try to cover a little bit of history and toilet paper today and the possible future of toilet paper. Toilet paper actually goes back at least to the 14th century in China, because there's references to the Chinese emperors ordering sheets of paper to use for that purpose that were about 2 feet by 3 feet. I'm not sure how they used them, but most people didn't use toilet paper. So what did they use? That's what got me interested in this subject a few months ago, because it's a topic nobody talks about. And so they actually used whatever was available. If they were in the forest, they used grass or leaves. And if they were in the desert, believe it or not, they used sand or stones. Sounds pretty rough. If they were close to a stream or the ocean, they used water and their hand, or they used seaweeds or sometimes shells, just whatever happened to be around. In colonial America, corn cobs were real popular. And a little bit later, they would tear out sheets out of the Sears catalog or out of the Farmer's Almanac, which most people had those publications. The Farmer's Almanac, actually, they put a little hole up at the top that went through the whole thing so you could put it on the nail in your outhouse. So paper was pretty much available by the 15th century. But toilet paper, as we know it today, a softer paper, didn't come about until the 19th century. There was a man in New York, his name was Joseph Gaetti, who came out with the first commercial toilet paper that was mass produced. And it was a flat paper in separate sheets and came in a box. But toilet paper on a roll wasn't invented until the late 1800s. So what about toilet paper today? It's big business. According to Wikipedia, 83 million rolls are produced every day. That's a lot of toilet paper. But still, this is what shocked me, because I just wondered what did people do before toilet paper. But I feel so naive now that I'm at my age and I didn't find out until just a few months ago that the biggest majority of people on this earth do not use toilet paper. How many knew that? I didn't know that. So, and most of these people live in India, Africa, in Asia, and in the Middle East. So, why don't they use toilet paper? For a variety of reasons. They can't afford it. It's not available in certain places. But for even more of them, they don't use it for religious and cultural reasons. So, what do they use? I'm going to gross a few of you out probably right now. Most of them use water and their left hand. That's why we shake with our right hand, if you haven't heard about that. You might say, well, I know I've seen pictures of what appear to be dirty streets in places like India. And you'd think, those must really be dirty people, you know? But the truth is, most of these people spend hours every day cleaning their body. And it might surprise you that they think we're rather dirty. And why is that? I'm going to tell you a story. There was a young man, he was 18 years old, he went to India. And he met an Indian man, and they got to be really good friends. And they talked about unmentionable things that people normally don't talk about. And one day this Indian just laughed out loud, and he said, listen, he said, if you had, you know what, under your armpit, would you wipe it off with a piece of paper, or would you use water? And so this American young man, he laughed, and but he thought about it, and he wrote an article or a book about 13 years later, and he said, I never used toilet paper after that. So, what is the future of toilet paper? Like I said, it's big business here in the United States. I came across another statistic that says that the average American uses 50 pounds of toilet paper per year. And think about how much that would be in a person's lifetime. I want to talk a little bit about toilet paper and the environment. There's two sides to it. One side says, as long as we plant more trees than we're cutting down, everything's okay. The other side says, no, our forests are disappearing. The rainforest is disappearing all over this globe. And that this can't go on forever. And toilet paper, believe it or not, does play into that. So, I think toilet paper should come out of the closet, and we should talk about it.